Power Boosters, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin.
Kevin!
Have you had your morning coffee yet? Did you burn your tongue? I told you, blow on it first, okay? It's too hot. You gotta cool it down, okay? It's not my fault you burned your tongue. Anyway, this video this week, I wanted to talk about the results of using ethanol-free gasoline. So a couple of commenters on some of my videos having to do with the miles per gallon on the F150 Powerboost talked about some of their best results come with the ethanol-free fuel that they've been putting into their trucks. And obviously, I wanted to give that a little try because I had tried higher octane with ethanol at the 93 octane. Realized that it wasn't really, in terms of my usage, it wasn't really worth it, so I went back to the 87 and wanted to give this a go because initially there wasn't any gas stations super close to me that had that type of fuel. There was a few in the area, but one right up the road from me started offering it, so I said, well, I might as well run an experiment with this. So I just filled up after having 3 full tanks with ethanol-free gasoline. I think that put it at 90 octane. And the results weren't that great, admittedly. So tank 1, I had got 19.8 hand calculated when the trip computer actually on the car said 20.8. So it was 1 full MPG lower actually than it was reading on the computer. Second tank read 21.1 on the trip computer and was actually 18.1. So that one, I don't know what happened there. And then 21.4 on the third tank was the computer, trip computer readout, and then 19.7 is what hand calculated. So I think that I might have to do this experiment again. And let me explain why. Because obviously, as you can look and see around, we're in winter right now, and many people have told me, and I guess I'm led to believe this because I truly don't know, but there's a winter blend which will ultimately give you winter blend for gasoline, I should say, that will ultimately give you lower MPGs than you might find in the summer. Plus, in addition to that, obviously, you're taxing the engine a little bit more in terms of running more, the heat and doing the automatic pre-start and whatnot throughout the winter. So the chances of you getting an optimal miles per gallon during the winter, there's a lot stacked up against you. So I may try this experiment again once the weather gets nicer to see if for certain it is making a difference. Certainly I might find out because on my next fill up I'm going to go back to 87 octane. Not only is it over $1 cheaper than the ethanol free and the premium gases, I didn't notice a difference before. So I'm going to go back to that and see if I get even worse MPG during the winter still here, because we've got a couple months or 3 months in our area. Even if it technically will be spring at that point, we still end up getting winter weather right up through spring. So I'll see if maybe that's part of the issue is it's just winter and there's a winter blend. So if I switch to 87 and start to get even worse MPGs than hand calculated 19.7, 19.8, then I'll know, okay, well maybe the ethanol free gas is actually doing something a little bit nicer. But I still don't think it's doing enough to where it would warrant me spending an extra $1 per gallon. So just so you know, I did that for you guys on the channel here. For the last 3 tanks, I was crying over how much I spent to fill up the tank because I was going back to when I was doing the 93 octane, and it definitely makes a difference. An extra $1 a gallon makes a difference at the fill up. But thankfully, I'll go back to 87 and we'll see where we're at from there. And I just, if it goes down an MPG or so, or MPG and a half, or maybe even 2, it's probably still not worth it for me in my usage to pay the extra to put the premium fuel in there. And I'm just not taxing the truck enough. So I don't know. I'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. I would say if you're still using the truck for towing, or putting it under heavy load by having a lot of payload in the back or whatnot, I think that Ford still recommends you to use premium fuels for those instances. So I'm not advocating that everyone should use 87, and nor am I advocating you to put any sort of fuel in the vehicles. I'm just reporting what I'm experiencing by changing the fuels around. Certainly do not listen to me when it comes to this, but for my usage and for this truck and going forward, unless, like I said, I want to give it another go in the summer, or I see a drastic drop off in miles per gallon to where it would make sense to pay an extra $1 per gallon once I go back to 87, I'm just going to stick here. Yeah, so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the live video I did yesterday with Craig on his channel. It's Fix or Repair DIY. If you haven't checked out his channel, definitely check it out. It's very informative, way better than my channel, by the way. And he is a super nice guy, so hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to try in the next week or so to get him onto my channel, maybe ask him a couple questions so you guys can be introduced to him if you haven't met him before, and then maybe give his channel a subscribe as well too. He's pretty much doing the same thing I'm doing, except better. But we both are first-time Powerboost truck owners, and we're both just trying to provide information in the way that we can each do to people like us. When we were both kind of researching and waiting on our trucks, we wanted, we were consuming as many YouTube videos as we could. So we're only adding to what's out there for you guys to consume and just kind of see before you make a decision on these trucks. I still think it's a good idea to buy one of these trucks today, especially this powertrain, more than any other internal combustion engine option that you have in any other truck brand. I certainly would consider other truck brands down the road if they start to offer a powertrain like this coupled with the power inverter, because that's kind of what I like about it. I'm not necessarily tied and absolutely love the aesthetic of a Ford, but the functionality, I think, is my shoulder's hurting. I'm holding up this phone. The functionality is definitely outweighs. I can look past a couple of aesthetic things to have that functionality. So anyway, that's all I got for you in this video. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in the next video.